Imagine this. You go into a hospital with chest pain and you tell the people that you have chest pain, and so they say, you have a diagnosis of chest pain, and then they defibrillate you. Well, this is kind of what we do with what we call mental health problems. We define them by the symptoms, and then we sort of treat them willy-nilly without trying to figure out what the underlying cascade of events are that led to you having this particular problem. We have all these categories without any sort of, they have no relationship to physical reality. They are fully social constructs, and they continue to exist because we do things like base our entire medical reimbursement system on them. But scientists actually dropped these categories a while ago, and clinicians and government have not caught up. Basically, they're doing research that's known as transdiagnostic research, and they will use terms like autism in the title, but usually the studies are actually of something much more narrow. And things like ability to focus or sensory processing. Some people are highly sensitive, some people are very insensitive. You can imagine that there are issues at being at the extremes of this in both ways, right? Most people fit in the middle, right? So those are our neurotypical people on the trait of sensory sensitivity. Now imagine all the traits, all the different sort of cognitive traits that make up how you think and interpret the world. And you can see that like there are people who are going to be at the tails and people who are going to be in the middle. And this is sort of what leads some people to say, oh, well, everyone's neurodivergent. But that's not really true, actually. It turns out that most people really do lie in the middle of most categories. And the people who land at the tails usually land at the tails of other categories too. This is because our brain, because this is the network theory behind this, is that neurotypical brains are more of a hub and spoke network, and neurodivergent brains are more of a daisy chain network. So we're going to have some really things that we're really good at. We're going to have some things that we really suck at in the same individual person. So I sort of like think about neurodiversity as like a salad bar. And there's, you know, all the normal things that most people get, like lettuce and tomatoes and carrots. And then there's like the weird ingredients, like, I don't know, olives and pine nuts or something. The neurodivergent people are mostly choosing from this buffet of unusual ingredients. And this is why sometimes you get very contradictory things. You might have someone with an amazing semantic memory and someone with a terrible semantic memory, but they're both in the category of neurodivergent. Because what they have in common, what we all have in common, is the experience of living in a world that was not designed for brains like us. Or maybe the experience of other people seeming to do something in a way that other people are acting like something is trivially easy and they expect you to be able to do it, and you like literally can't do it. And for people who do not spend a lot of time being introspective, it actually can be really hard to know that your inner life or sort of skill set is very, very unusual. And that would be me. I had no idea. I thought I was completely neurotypical until I was 40. And then I started really thinking about it and discovering that I am really, really bad at some things that I thought I was just a little below average at. One of them is face recognition. Another one is visual memory. I'm in the bottom 2% of these two skills and many other skills. And I'm in the top 2% for like music memory. So clearly you can be very unusual and not really realize it if you're the type of person that sort of just assumes everyone else's experience is roughly like your own. And I remember when I was younger having this vague sense that I was like a space alien on like just trying to fit in among humans. And I'm curious if anyone else had that experience. But I eventually just sort of was like, you know what, Sadie, everyone thinks they're special. That's kind of what I learned in high school. It's like, everyone thinks they're special. You're not special. Just like figure it out. But I actually am special.